Hi students, today we will discuss about few important questions from the PUC written examination, means international board examination. So let us go for the chapter wise and the same way what is the weightage of this particular question also to see. So the chapter number 1, electric charges and fields detail. We have two types of 2 marks questions and 3 marks questions and 5 marks questions. Say the first one, write any two differences between the polar and non-polar molecules. Like polar molecules and non-polar molecules, it will come in the second chapter. But here I mentioned it in the first chapter. I don't think I don't have a chapter about. So this is the first one. Write any two differences like what is the polar molecule and non-polar, and write the examples also. And the second one, if you see the define the linear density of the charge and mention the SI unit means, write the definition, the amount of the charge per unit length, and SI unit is coulomb per meter. And the third one, state and explain Coulomb's law in electrostatics. And write the definition and write the formula for that Coulomb-Silva square law. The Coulomb-Silva square law, we know that the electrostatic force between the 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. And the most important another one is write the electric field line patterns for the positive charge and negative charge, or sometimes they will ask Q greater than 0 or less than 0. Positive charge means we know electric lines of forces diverging from the positive charge and converging towards the negative charge. So this is the way we can write the answer for that particular question. And next one, state and explain Gauss law of electrostatics. So write the statement and electric field of the closed surface. If you take the formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square and flux over, and finally we have flux is equals to Q by epsilon naught. Okay. Just explain, not proof and all, just explain how it will, Next, Coulomb's vector form. This is also, that is Q1 and Q2, not Q power 1 and Q power 2, that is Q1 and Q2. In problem you see, this is. And what is the terms which we are using in that formula also you write. And what is electric dipole, right? It says say unit of dipole moment means dipole definition, okay? And SC unit, Coulomb meter. Then after we can go for the 3 marks question. Mention any 3 basic properties of electric charges means additive property of the charge, quantization property of the charge, and conservation property of the charge. No need to explain what is additivity property of charge, what is quantization, and what is conservation of property. Just to write the names of the properties. Don't try to write the explanation, right? Because if they ask what are the basic, write the names. No need to write the explanation. Okay? So by mistake, if you write explanation, if it is wrong, they will cut the marks. Okay? And later you can go for any 3 properties, but I mentioned here 5 properties. Suppose if they give for the 5 marks, it is, then it is useful to write any 5. Means they ask only 3, right? Any 3, otherwise write all 5. That's left to you only. Okay. So electric field lines start from the positive charge and end on the negative charge. Electric field lines never intersect each other. Electric field leave or enter the charge conductor normally, and electric field lines are continuous curves in a charge-free region. Electric field lines never forms closed. Okay. And later 5 marks question here in this chapter. This is the important 5 marks question. Here I have an expression for the electric field with an electric dipole at a point on X line. And first draw the diagram, and the directions is very important. Don't try to by heart only the derivation. See what is the direction of electric field. Positive charge means radially outwards, negative charge means radially inwards, where they ask all these things. Okay? And write this consider electric dipole and all. Don't focus on only formulas, okay? Right? Detailed explanation will write point wise. Yeah. This is the way field with the positive charge, field with the negative charge. Later, what is a net means resultant electric field, how it will come. So either positive minus negative, negative minus positive. Yeah. The final answer is this. And after we can write for the short dipole also. If the length is very less, when the distance is very far, when you compare to the distance between the two poles, then we can consider this a short dipole. And this is the formula 4 pi epsilon naught into PR. That's the end of the question. Okay? So next important one is dipole equatorial line test. Yes. So this is the way you should write for the 5 marks question. If they ask, draw the diagram, and the direction. Arrow marks is very important. If you forget the arrow marks, they will cut the marks. Sometimes they don't give the marks also. Okay, be careful while draw the diagram. So this is due to the positive charge, what is the field? Due to the negative charge, what is the field? Okay, we can write like this. After if we add these two, because 2 positive, 2 positive, 3 positive, we can write. This is another important 5 marks question. There is an expression of electric field line infinitely long by using Gauss law. So draw the diagram, check the arrow marks, how they look, how they given in the diagram. Focus on the diagram also, because well, in physics, whatever the derivation you are attempt to write in examination, they are not focused on only derivation, they focus on the diagram also, right? Because based on the diagram, some equations will come. Okay, see here. Just draw the diagram, write a little bit brief about the explanation of the diagram, what is conductor, how it will electric field is radial outwards and all, what is Gauss law, and equating the two equations. After that, few things get cancelled each other. Okay. The finally, this is there is an expression for the electric field with the uniformly charged infinite plane sheet using the Gauss law. Okay. So these are the important questions from this chapter. Just see only just 5 lines. Diagram, Gauss law, definition, explanation. That's it. Okay. So that's all for today. Tomorrow I will upload one more chapter, the second chapter. Thank you.